Hello, Panthers. So it's Jana Stone here from WVU Appalachian Coders to help you get started on filling out your Renzulli scales for gifted students. All right, so we're going to start with going over compensation and how that's going to work, and then do a quick review of recognizing giftedness in your classroom, and then a quick how-to guide on filling out the scales. So compensation. You'll be compensated $200 to complete 4 scales for each student. The scales include mathematics, science, creativity, and motivation. The scales have 37 total multiple choice questions. So that's across all 4 scales, 37 questions. And you'll use those to rate each student. It will likely take you around 15 minutes per student to complete. So first, you're going to receive an email from WVU Shared Services. And if you can't find it, we have the link in the email that has this recording in it, this presentation. And if you're not seeing it there, you can email us and let us know, but we're going to share this with you in the email. So we realize you can't click on this link right now, but we have given it to you. So they should have some of your information, but they want to just verify it with you. So you'll email them back with your full name, date of birth, and type of position that you have accepted, which is FN, faculty, non-tenure visiting instructor. And then they're going to request a copy of your driver's license and information for direct deposit, such as a copy of a check or a deposit slip. And once you've done this, you're done. You won't have to do this again, and we can pay you. All right, so now that we've covered payment, let's go over what gifted might look like in your classroom. So we're all familiar with the typical definitions or typical presentations. It might be the child with their hand raised most of the time, or the most well-behaved child, or the one with the top test scores or grades. But as you already know from experience and from our previous presentations, it's more than that. So it might be someone who's a nonconformist and willing to take risks. It might be someone with an interest and talent in areas outside of the classroom. It might be a child with a great sense of humor, a quick wit. It could be someone who's intensely focused and persistent. They may have a strong spatial understanding, and they may not be talented in every subject. Excuse me. Some atypical students from my classrooms over the years included Tony, who could pick up on irony and sarcasm years before the other second graders. And he told the best stories. He cracked me up. And Rachel, who was so into her chickens and her garden, she researched them and the plants endlessly, running her own experiments, everything. Don't worry, she loved her chickens. She never harmed any chickens in her experiments. Sean knew everything there was to know about hunting and fishing, the species, where and when to find them, what they ate, everything. And that was before any of the other 4th graders fully understood exactly what a habitat is. He was understanding these complex relationships between the habitats. All right, so now we're going to look at the frequency that you may be seeing these behaviors. So there's always, and it's nearly every time you give a particular assignment, it is not literally always. And then there's frequently, you see it more often than not. Occasionally, you've seen it about 5 to 10 times a year or on 5 to 10 assignments. Rarely, you've seen it around 3 to 5 times during the whole year. And very rarely, I've seen this once or twice. Never have you ever seen this behavior. Now we understand this year is a little bit different given the pandemic, so we're just asking that you do the best that you can with what you've seen this year. All right, so now that we remember what we're looking for, let's go through how to do the scales. So you should have received an email from Digital Product Support, and the subject line will read Renzulli Scales Account Activation Required. And that is just asking for you to agree to their terms of agreement. So you'll scroll down and agree if you agree. And then it'll ask you to set up a password, and just pick a password that you can remember easily. And then you'll receive an email of assignments. And that'll include creativity, motivation, math, and science. You can use the link straight from that email to log in. And so that can be a nice one to kind of pin or star and save to access the scales. So from there, I'm gonna switch and go through this. Okay, so when you log in, you want to make sure that you're seeing your name in the upper right hand corner here. And then you'll have the Rebus numbers for your students. It'll be in the first name, last name, and the grade number. You'll have all 4 for each student. And you just click on one and it'll take you to the scale. So the nice thing about these is if you are thinking that you're done and you try to submit, it won't let you. So it'll make sure that you do complete it. And then if you aren't fully through with a scale and the bell rings or something, you can save it as a draft. And it will be saved over here on the left as draft. So just a quick reminder of why we're doing this. So we are trying to create local norms for giftedness. So we're trying to go beyond the typical and find some students that could really benefit from some extra enrichment. And so please take your time to think about each student and how they might present different attributes of giftedness. And when you're done with this scale, you'll click submit and it will be erased from your list. And eventually there will be nothing here and then you're all done. So when you are all done, we're hoping that will be before May 17th. So just let us know if you have any questions or problems with that due date. And you can email Carla or I, and these emails are in the email that you received this presentation again. So once again, we realize you can't click on these links, but we have included them. So just let us know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time.